All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into futsal,
Ooh, fun.
specifically dribbling techniques,
Oh, okay.
and how technology can play a role in helping young athletes like those U13 players
Yeah.
really nail those skills. You
Nice.
sent over some research from the International Journal of Human Movement and Sports Sciences,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say, it's got some seriously intriguing findings.
It
It's like,
does.
really,
It really does.
yeah.
We talk about the importance of dribbling all the time in futsal,
Mm.
but this study actually put two specific techniques to the test.
Okay.
The zigzag and triangle with these young athletes.
Cool.
And to make things even more interesting, they looked at how training with different video platforms,
Oh, interesting.
Zoom versus good old YouTube,
Wow.
impacted the results.
That's what caught my eye, too.
Yeah.
We're all about practical takeaways here, so let's
Oh.
unpack this.
Yeah, let's do it.
First things first,
Okay.
before we even get to the fancy footwork.
Yeah.
Remind us, why is dribbling considered like such a vital skill in futsal?
Absolutely. So in futsal, you're playing in a much tighter space than traditional soccer,
Right.
with constant pressure from opponents.
Yeah.
Dribbling isn't just about moving the ball. It's about controlling the tempo of the game, creating space,
Oh, okay.
and outmaneuvering those defenders that are right on top of you.
So it's not just about looking flashy.
No.
It's about tactical advantage.
Exactly. And this study cites earlier research by Correa et al. From
Huh.
2016.
Okay.
They found that players who are strong dribblers
Yeah.
also had a greater advantage in terms of both passing and shooting distances in these small-sided games.
Wow.
It's like a domino effect.
Mm.
Mastering your dribbling opens up all these possibilities
I like that.
on the court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Good.
We've got these two different, dribbling techniques.
Right.
Zigzag, triangle.
Yes.
For those of us who might be picturing, like a geometry lesson.
Yeah.
Can you break down like what each one actually looks like?
I'd be glad to.
Like in motion.
So imagine a player weaving the ball
Okay.
rapidly from side to side,
Yeah.
like a skier slamming down a slope. Almost.
I can see it.
That's zigzag dribbling.
Yeah.
It's all about those quick changes in direction, using both the inside and outside of both feet
Wow.
to keep the ball close and under control.
Sounds like you need some serious agility for that.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
Now, the triangle dribbling is a bit different.
Okay.
Picture the ball tracing a triangle around your foot. So the sole of your foot rolls the ball forward.
Okay.
Then you use the inside of your foot to drag it back.
Gotcha.
And finally, a quick shift to the outside to complete that triangle motion.
Okay.
It's a more controlled, almost rhythmic movement compared to the rapid-fire nature of the zigzag.
Interesting. So one is about speed and agility,
Yeah.
while the other seems more about like precision and close ball control.
We got...
Did the study find that one of these techniques was more effective for the U13 athletes?
They did.
Okay.
And this is where those intriguing results come in.
All right.
The young athletes who were trained in the zigzag technique actually achieved a significantly higher average score
Wow.
on their dribbling assessments.
Okay.
We're talking an average of 85
Wow.
compared to an average of 72.85
Okay.
for those trained in the triangle technique.
That is a pretty significant difference.
Yeah.
Any theories on like why that might be? Is one technique inherently more challenging than the other at that age?
There are probably a few factors at play here. We have to remember these are U13 athletes, so
Right.
they're still developing,
Yeah.
both physically and in terms of their coordination.
Sure.
The zigzag, with its emphasis on those broader side-to-side movements,
Okay.
might tap into gross motor skills that are a bit more naturally developed
Interesting.
at that age. The triangle technique, on the other hand, requires a lot of fine motor control, precise footwork,
Right.
and a well-developed sense of spatial awareness.
Right.
Those are skills that often take more time and practice to refine,
Makes sense.
especially for younger players.
Yeah, it's like building a house.
Yeah,
You need a solid foundation
Okay.
before you start adding those like
that's a great idea.
fancy details.
I like that.
But what I'm really curious about is this whole Zoom versus YouTube training aspect. It feels like we're stepping into uncharted territory here.
Yeah.
How did the researchers even approach that?
So it's a brilliant approach, really.
Eh.
They took these two platforms that are widely accessible,
Yeah.
especially in a post-COVID world where so much training had to go remote,
Right.
and essentially said, okay, let's see how these familiar tools
Right.
impact learning.
Interesting.
The U13 athletes were divided into groups
Okay.
and trained in either the zigzag or triangle technique using either Zoom or YouTube videos.
Wow.
And the results are, as we've been saying, quite fascinating.
Okay, spill the beans.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
The athletes who trained using Zoom video calls consistently demonstrated better mastery of both the zigzag and the triangle dribbling techniques.
So Zoom wins.
Zoom wins.
But that begs the question, why?
That's the real analysis comes in.
Mm-hmm.
It's likely a combination of factors.
Okay.
Think about the nature of Zoom.
Right.
It offers that live, interactive environment.
Yeah.
Coaches can provide real-time feedback, demonstrate the techniques themselves, and even adjust the training on the fly based on what they're seeing from the athletes.
So it's like having a virtual coach right there with you.
Exactly.
Fine-tuning everything as you go.
And we can't forget about the visual clarity that a platform like Zoom offers.
Right.
You've got a stable video feed, the ability to zoom in on specific footwork details,
Nice.
and the option to record sessions so athletes can go back and review themselves.
Both good.
All of those elements can contribute to a more collective learning experience.
So while YouTube might be great for, funny cat videos,
Mm-hmm.
Zoom seems to be like the MVP
Yeah.
for serious skills training.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
But before we completely write off YouTube,
Yeah.
it's important to acknowledge that the study still found that athletes who trained using YouTube did show improvement in their dribbling skills.
Okay.
It might not have been as dramatic as the Zoom group, but it's still a valuable resource,
Yeah.
especially for its accessibility, vast library of content, and the ability to replay videos as needed.
So it's not really an either-or situation,
Right.
but more about choosing the right tool
Exactly.
for the job,
Yeah.
recognizing that each platform has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Precisely. And this brings us to a broader discussion about technology's role in sports training,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this post-COVID era where we've all become accustomed to doing things a bit differently.
Right.
What we're witnessing is a fundamental shift
Okay.
in how athletes, particularly younger athletes,
Yeah.
are learning and developing their skills. We're moving beyond the confines of the traditional gym or training field
Right.
and embracing a more hybrid approach
Mm-hmm.
where technology plays an increasingly important role.
It almost feels like we're democratizing coaching in a way,
I think so too.
making it more accessible, more affordable,
Yeah.
and offering training options that can be tailored to different learning styles and needs.
Yeah.
This opens up a world of possibilities, especially for young athletes who might not have access to those top-tier coaching programs
Right.
or who live in areas where specialized training isn't readily available.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's about empowering athletes to take ownership of their development,
Yes.
regardless of their background or location, providing them with the tools
Yes.
they need to reach their full potential.
100%. And while this particular study focused on U13 athletes,
Right?
its implications are far-reaching.
Yeah.
Technology is here to stay.
Totally.
And its impact on sports training, not just in futsal, but across the board, will only continue to grow.
So if we were designing a futsal training program today,
Yeah.
what would we prioritize? What would that magical blend of traditional hands-on coaching
You're right.
and technology-driven methods look like?
That's a fantastic question.
It is.
And one that I think deserves a deeper dive.
Well, good thing we've got more time.
Yes.
We'll be right back to distill the key takeaways from this research
Okay.
and get into some actionable advice for coaches, players, and parents who want to leverage technology to enhance their futsal training.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our exploration of futsal dribbling.
All right, so we've talked about the why and the how of those crucial zigzag and triangle techniques
Right.
and explored that surprising impact of different training platforms.
Yeah.
Now let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways for coaches, players, and even parents who are supporting these young athletes?
Let's start with the coaches.
Okay.
This study really underscores the importance of embracing technology not as a replacement for their expertise, but as a powerful tool to enhance their coaching.
It's about evolving with the times, right?
Precisely.
Meeting these young athletes where they are.
Exactly. Platforms like Zoom offer coaches the chance to provide that personalized instruction, real-time feedback, and even create engaging training sessions that might not be possible in a traditional setting.
Yeah.
Imagine breaking down a complex dribbling sequence,
Right.
step by step, visually demonstrating it on screen, and then having the athletes try it themselves with immediate feedback.
Oh, that's cool.
And the beauty of it is you can record these sessions for players to review later, reinforcing what they've learned.
It's almost like having a virtual assistant coach
Yeah.
always there to provide support and guidance.
Totally.
And beyond like live sessions,
Yeah.
coaches can build up libraries of drills, technique breakdowns,
Right.
and even game scenarios that
Yeah.
players can access anytime, anywhere.
Exactly. It empowers players to take ownership of their training,
Right.
practice at their own pace, and really dive deep into the nuances of each technique.
So let's shift our focus to the players themselves.
Okay.
What advice would you give them to really maximize their learning in this like technology-driven training environment?
Active engagement is key.
Okay.
It's not enough to just passively watch videos.
Right.
They need to approach each training session with a clear objective in mind.
Mm-hmm.
What specific skill or technique am I trying to improve today?
Right.
What are the key points to focus on?
Okay.
Taking notes, rewinding those tricky sections, even trying to mirror the movements they see on screen.
Yeah.
These are all great ways to stay engaged and get the most out of each session.
It's about being an active participant in their own development.
Yes.
Not just a recipient of information.
Exactly. And here's something I always tell young athletes.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to experiment and get creative. It's fantastic to learn the fundamentals, but the real magic happens when you start adapting those techniques to your own playing style, your strengths, and the unique challenges you encounter on the court.
It's what separates those good players from the great ones.
Yeah.
The ability to think critically, problem solve, and apply their knowledge in a dynamic game environment.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, let's not forget the often unsung heroes of youth sports.
Oh, yeah.
The parents.
The parents.
They play a crucial role in supporting their children's athletic journeys, even if they aren't futsal experts themselves.
So what can parents do to create that supportive environment and help their young athletes thrive in this new world of technology-driven training?
The foundation, as always, is creating a positive and encouraging atmosphere at home.
Right.
It's about celebrating effort, progress, and that genuine love for the game, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
Wins and losses are part of it, but the true victory is that passion and dedication.
Focusing on the process rather than just the results.
Absolutely. And practically speaking, parents can help their children stay organized with training schedules.
Okay.
Make sure they have the necessary equipment, and even create a dedicated practice space where they can focus without distractions. And, sometimes the simplest things can be the most powerful. Watching those training videos together, discussing the techniques, maybe even trying them out together, can create a really fun and supportive learning environment.
Turning training into a family activity.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea.
It is, and it builds that shared understanding. So
Yeah.
parents can really be active participants in their child's development, even if they're not coaching from the sidelines.
Speaking of coaching,
Yeah.
I think it's important to acknowledge that while we're enthusiastic about the potential of technology,
Right.
it's not a magic bullet.
You're right.
There are potential downsides to be aware of as well.
You're absolutely right. Technology should never be seen as a replacement for human interaction and the guidance of a skilled coach. It's all about striking the right balance between online and offline training, recognizing that technology is a tool, a very powerful tool, but still just a tool.
And there are certain aspects of the game like teamwork, communication, sportsmanship, those essential soft skills that might not be fully developed through video training alone.
Absolutely. Those qualities are developed through real-world interaction,
Yeah.
through those moments of collaboration and friendly competition on the court.
Right.
They're what makes sports such a valuable experience for young people.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, it's clear that technology has the potential to transform futsal training.
Yeah,
It can make it more accessible, more engaging, and ultimately more effective.
I agree.
But it's up to coaches, players, and parents to harness its power wisely, creating a holistic learning environment that fosters both technical skills and that essential personal growth.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground today, but I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
That's the beauty of a deep dive.
It is.
There's always more to explore.
Always.
And speaking of exploring, in our final part, we're going to shift our focus to the future of futsal training.
Okay.
We'll look at some emerging trends and ponder the exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
Cool.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've covered so much ground already, from those crucial zigzag and triangle dribbling techniques
Yeah.
to like the surprising ways technology is changing how young athletes train.
It's been quite a journey,
It has.
but we're not done yet.
Nope.
We've analyzed the present, now it's time to look ahead.
Ooh, I like that.
What does the future hold for futsal training?
All right, let's get our futurist hats on.
Okay.
What are some of the like cutting edge technologies that could revolutionize how futsal players train and develop their skills in the years to come?
Well, one area that's generating a lot of buzz is the intersection of virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, with sports training.
I've heard whispers about this.
Yeah.
But honestly, it sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? But it's closer than you think.
Oh.
Imagine stepping onto a virtual futsal court,
Okay.
complete with realistic opponents' game scenarios,
Wow.
and even the roar of the crowd.
Really?
That's the immersive experience that VR training offers.
So instead of just practicing drills in an empty gym, players could be thrown into like high-pressure game situations.
Yeah, virtually. Exactly. And because it's virtual, they can make mistakes, experiment with different moves,
Right?
and learn from those experiences without any real-world consequences.
That's a game changer. What about AR?
Yeah.
How does that fit into the picture?
So augmented reality layers digital information onto the real world.
Okay.
Imagine a coach wearing AR glasses
Okay.
that allow them to see a player's footwork in real time, analyze their movements,
Wow.
and provide instant feedback right there on the court.
Wow. It's like having a digital coach superimposed onto the real world.
Precisely. And the beauty of these technologies is that they can be personalized
Right.
to each player's needs and skill level, creating a truly customized training experience.
It sounds like the possibilities are limitless.
They really are.
Yeah.
And we're just scratching the surface.
Wow.
Another trend that's rapidly gaining traction is the use of artificial intelligence, AI, and data analytics.
Okay, that's another one that sounds super futuristic.
I know, right?
Break it down for me.
Think of AI as a personal data scientist for your futsal training.
Okay.
AI-powered platforms can analyze a player's movements,
Hmm.
identify areas for improvement, and even create custom training plans tailored to their strengths and weaknesses.
So no more guesswork.
Right?
It's all about data-driven insights to optimize training.
Exactly. And wearables are becoming increasingly sophisticated too.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about devices that can track everything from heart rate and speed to foot pressure and ball control.
It's like having a whole team of analysts
Yeah.
tracking your every move.
Right.
What do they do with all that data?
This data provides valuable insights into a player's performance, helping them understand their strengths and weaknesses on a granular level. It's about moving beyond subjective observations and using objective data to fine-tune their training and maximize their potential.
It's incredible to think how much technology is changing the landscape of sports. But amidst all this innovation,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that technology is a tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can enhance training, but it should never replace the human element.
Right.
The guidance of a skilled coach, the camaraderie of teammates, and the pure joy of playing the game.
It's about finding that balance, isn't it?
I think so.
Blending cutting-edge technology with the timeless principles of sportsmanship, teamwork, and dedication.
Well said. The future of futsal is bright, innovative, and brimming with potential.
I love that.
But ultimately, it's up to the players, coaches, and parents
Right.
to harness these new tools wisely and create a training experience that fosters not just technical excellence,
Yeah.
but also a love for the game that will last a lifetime.
It's been a fascinating deep dive as we wrap up. I'm left feeling inspired by all the possibilities.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe one of our listeners will be the one to invent the next game-changing training technology for futsal.
That would be incredible.
It would.
Remember, the journey of learning and improvement never ends. Keep exploring, keep experimenting,
Yeah.
and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Until next time, keep diving deep.